What's going on, everybody? Woo here with LynkMe Cards. Today's podcast, we have a special guest, Austin. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce your name right. Kikuchi, is that right?
You're spot on.
Austin Kikuchi. Austin and I met at a real estate caravan, and this guy is a crusher. And to me, he's like a master networker. He's always at every single caravan. I respect that a lot. Without further ado, Austin, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I've been so excited to hop on this podcast with you.
Heck yeah. Hey, could you real quick introduce yourself, where you live, who you are, and all that stuff?
Sounds good. Well, my name's Austin Kikuchi. I'm a young 25-year-old and working for Ticor Title. I kind of come from a background of title experts as well for 30 plus years. And I service my own community that I was born and raised in, which is an amazing aspect of how I network myself and kind of how I hold myself to a certain standard. So it's a pleasure.
And how long have you been in business? How long have you been in business, Austin?
So I've been operating for probably a year and a half now. I started last year in customer service, and then kind of worked my way through, and they saw that I was kind of more meant to be out in the field. So I've been officially out working the field since June of last year. So it's been a whole learning curve.
Wow. Hey, I personally have met you at a real estate caravan in Orange here in Orange County. And let me tell you guys, Austin is a master networker. He's at honestly every single real estate caravan. He's always there helping out, moving coffee with the sponsors, talking with the members, asking them questions, and helping with the host too. So could you tell me a little bit about how you got started with going to caravans and all that stuff?
So the biggest thing in our industry is how much are you out there exposing yourself to other people? So when I did start in June, right away my sales manager's like, you have to go to these caravans. This is your number one place to be going to kind of connect with new people. So I'm like, okay, I have it's like a non-negotiable. I am at every caravan that's in my territory, and I will continue to go to those every single time because you never know what pops up in person. Because for me, that's my bread and butter. Got to be in front of them because the phones, I'm like, that's a different beast. We will handle, elsewhere. So yeah, I just got pushed by my managers. Yeah, and they just like keep going, and I just started loving it because everyone there is just has such good attitude. I remember when you came in, like I was like, "Who's this guy?" And you were bubbly, introduced yourself to me, and I'm like, "Okay, we need more people like Wu." And that's why I kind of followed up with you last week because I was like, "This guy's just doing it all right." You being out there is the number one way to sell yourself and sell exactly what you're trying to sell in product.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I built my business in person, building in-person connections, going to events, going to office meetings, doing presentations. And and to be real, I have been moving a little away from that. And I've been think about skill. I try to replicate people like me in my business so
Hmm.
that I'm not the only one essentially selling in the business. And so I've been moving away from that, but yeah, absolutely, you're right. That's how I got started in this business. And I honestly have interviewed a lot of people, and it seems like a lot of people started their business going out to people, door knocking, cold calling, going to events, networking. And so I would say that is a crucial part in building your business. So with that being said, Austin, let me ask you this. Did you have any entrepreneurship background before you started working for a title company?
Honestly, yeah. And that's really why I reached out to you because you brought that childhood like entrepreneur when I was a kid. So when I was 14, I started dog walking and I was in the eighth grade and my mom would drive me to the houses. I had three clients. And so I'd
Wow.
walk each dog for half an hour and I'd make 75 bucks a week. And I'm like, oh my God, this is what making money is about. And I did it myself. Kind of moved on to other places. I worked at In and Out, mostly in the service industry, Pelican Hill, worked at a nice local steakhouse. But the entrepreneur mindset at 14 just kept going. And yeah, just working hard is that's my middle name. Just I just don't know how to stop. So yeah, no, nothing too crazy. Just the dogs until I did it for 5 years. I built so many clients. I had to end up telling them, hey guys, I'm not doing this anymore. but I do have good referrals for you. But thank you for business. And I'm not kidding. I made a lot of money just taking care of dogs. They're humans. They are little humans. People will pay anything for the
Mhm.
little Hoon
Right,
Man. And it's
right.
awesome, the need for it. So I felt that market
Dude,
and it was exciting.
dude, that is awesome because I remember when I was 14, I didn't think about making money, entrepreneurship, any of that. My only goal was how do I get out of school so I can get in front of a computer and start playing video games?
Yep. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
And we're in a generation of that. Like we were in the mecca of gaming. So that was
yeah.
like everyone just want to do that. No one want to hustle.
How
But,
did you get started in dog walking business? That's really interesting.
um I have dogs of my own. We have three Italian Greyhounds.
Oh, wow.
Just been a big dog family. But I don't know. I reached out to the right people and I just want my biggest drive was just I want to make money. And as a child, our dad, he's comes from Japanese Italian background. So with his Japanese side, we're always doing chores growing up. We were working very, very hard. So I think as I keep growing older and older, I'm like, I want to take responsibility for myself. You know how when we're kids, we're like, we can't wait to grow up. And
Yeah,
then you
yeah.
hit that age, you're like, oh my gosh, this world is crazy. But yeah, no,
I'll pay money to become younger.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I just had that drive and it's such a pleasure to bring it into this industry because I'm just a servant to this community. And we do title is a service and there's plenty of other companies, Chicago, Lawyers, First American. We all provide a service and if I'm really good at being a service-oriented person, I have to create a platform for people to actually consume and then be able to convert business. So that's kind of where I'm at now in my life in that kind of entrepreneurial mindset of make something my own and send it out there.
Gotcha. That's awesome, man. I love that.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, Austin. So you started working for a title company after, so you had your dog walking business and then you had a job for a while in and out of a steakhouse, and then you started working for a title company, right? So
Yeah.
what was that switch like going from salary or hourly job to going into an entrepreneurship where you're your own boss?
It was a lot of pressure. I think right off the bat, when you're having to actually create business to put food on the table was like such an unknown space for me because having an hourly wage and showing up was easy. You just stay regimental, but coming into a world of now you what you produce is what you make. It just pushed me. Like it put me in a corner of like either you decide to make this happen or you rot and you just get eaten by the wolves. I mean, we have some good title reps out there. Don't get me wrong. I've been doing this forever. So I have to put myself in that mindset. It's all or nothing.
Right, right. Yeah, it's really all or nothing. I think the stats like 10% of people in any industry does 90% of the business. And
Mhm.
so to catch yourself to that 10% or whatever percentage that are doing business, you really have to put in your hard work plus your hard work. I don't even know what the word is. What's after hard work?
Literally
Hard
just
work to
insanity.
un
It's insanity at that point.
yeah.
And you're just
Yeah.
like, I work 10 to 12-hour days. And for me, it's like I must at this age, and coming from you too, like you have to give it, we don't have as much time as people really think. If you see your grandparents once a year and you're only going to see them a few amount of times, 40 to 50 times. So it's like in our industry, we don't have time. We just have to keep just doing, try new things. And if it doesn't work, we have to learn how to pivot, appropriately.
Mhm. Yeah, I
So
love that hungry mindset that you have because, a lot of people think, oh, when I hit 50, that's like I've hit my half point. But that's not the point. It's like if you
no.
look at on average, for example, an average male, at least in the US, lives up to four, I think the average age when they die is like 74, 75 years old.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so that means you hit your middle point of your life before you turn 40. So let's just say 36 is your middle point. That means that's when you mature. And so your age 0 to 36, you have to do everything you want to do, put in your hard work so that by the time you hit your middle point, you can kind of chill out, cruise. Yeah.
Yeah. You almost want to
So
peak out around that. Not, I wouldn't say peak out essentially in like what you're producing income wise, but if you haven't from, I would say 22 to like 36, if you
Mhm.
haven't put a hard amount of work in to help leverage yourself and get you out of that middle class and into a more higher class of, income, you're set. I wouldn't say you're set, but you're in a lot better position just because you just put the effort towards it. I think our generation's kind of stuck in this weird instant gratification
Mhm.
cycle where, such as technology, we look at it and people call it brain rot. Brain rot when you're just going through TikTok is
Rolling,
like
yeah.
minutes, hours goes by, and it's just like you run out of time. You hit 36, you're like, oh man, you have arthritis in your finger. I don't know what else is going on, but I mean, it's just, people need to learn how to apply it to the right things. And after that, it's just one day at a time. It's consistency of just keep repeating, keep doing the same things, or keep trying new things to see which one, something that converts.
Yeah, completely agree with that. And you're a young guy. I'm relatively young. I'm
How
27. You're
old?
20,
Yeah, 25. Yeah,
27.
we're
Yeah.
young.
So we're in that same age bracket. And I want to ask you a question. And this is something I struggled a lot with, growing my business, especially right when I graduated college. That was 2023. So what does that make me? Like 2022, 2023. I was like 25, 26-ish.
Mhm.
And something that I struggled with, especially working with like mature people, was they looked at me and they're like, "You're a baby." Although I was 25, they still looked at me like, "You're a baby.
Yeah.
Like, are you gonna be around like in 5 years?" Did you have problem with that? Like where people looked at you like, "Oh, you're like young. Like I would rather work with somebody that's 35, that's mature." Or did you have any problems with that?
No, because my rebound to that was I have time and I want to give you I want to earn your time by giving you mine. So I totally, when they make the joke like, where's your license or something, I'm like, oh, it's right here. I'll joke with them, go along with it, but I'm like, I'm just a hungry young guy. Like, I'm here to give it my all. So, hey, you know what? I'm happy that I'm young because I'm not going anywhere. I'll be right here and I'm not going anywhere. And other title reps in their late 30s, 40s, and there's a lot of title reps that are in their 50s, like getting one looking to retire. I'm like, I'm in the perfect place at the perfect time because I'm gonna have all these competitors get out of the business and essentially my own sales members, they're going to be getting out. We're the new generation coming in with
Mhm.
all these new ideas. Like you have a brilliant idea coming out with converting, contact information, importing into a CRM and streamlining kind of that connectability aspect. And, for me, my biggest bread and butter is like technology optimization of marketing. I come slightly from a little marketing background and I really push Google Business, Instagram, Facebook ads. Like I teach people how to streamline that because that's our strengths. And when people call us young, I'm like, yeah, yeah. How
Yeah.
scary, how scary, how scary is that? We're coming in very quickly too.
Yeah, and what one thing I observed with a lot of younger business owners are that they are more prone to using technology to grow their business, right? So if you look at like 50s, 60s-year-old agents or title reps, they started their business door knocking in front of people, but not so much online. And I see
Mhm.
so many younger agents and younger business owners just crushing it on social media, ads, email marketing, all that's technology stuff. And so I think that's amazing. And so, yeah, definitely being young and starting your business comes with double-sided sword,
Yeah.
right? Where people think you're too young, so therefore you're inexperienced. But since you're young, you're really good with technology in ways that mature agents are not, or mature business owners are not.
And honestly, it really comes down to we have to kind of pick the strengths and weaknesses out of each generation. And I'm not doing that passively, but when I look at someone who's in their 40s and 50s, has a team or is independent on their own producing real estate business, I ask them about those things. And most of them don't want to talk about it because either A, they don't know how to use it, or B, they're just not willing to do it. So that's why where I come in, I'm like, hey, let me earn your business, get you set up. Let's sit down, let's do this together, and let's get this ball going. And they're like, it's actually shocking. I've been booking a boatload of meetings with people because they literally have no idea how to use technology. So, and we're literally the solution. This next generation is the solution for it.
Dude, I love that. So,
Yeah.
well, my next question you just answered. My next question was, what's your go-to market strategy for asking agents for their business, right? And that's exactly it. Help them with social media marketing, ads, paid ads, and the things that they're not efficient at. You're teaching them that. So you're giving them that lead magnet so they can learn from you and they get value from you and they like you and they want to work with you. That's kind of your plan, right? Or your strategy?
It's the quick 1-2 knockout. I'm seeing a lot of agents hire young kids. Like
Mm.
for example, we have an amazing agent locally, Flo Bolick. She's been doing real estate for ages, and she just hired this gal who graduated college to do all of her social media. And I've been keeping track of it, and she's doubled her business. She's doubled
Wow.
her interactions with people. She's doubled the convertibility of people reaching out to them. So we are essential. I believe for as non-essential as we are in terms of what our services are, I think we are as a generation, as people with the knowledge we have about technology, we are a very essential piece in this whole business to help convert me like technology into people's lives.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I agree. I me being young, but recently started doing social media posts, social
Mhm.
media content. As you can
You've
tell,
been
I've
going
been
off
pushing
on
it
it
hard.
too. You've been
Yeah.
posting a lot. I'm like, yeah, let's go, Woo.
And I'm slowly catching up to the younger generation. I think I'm the last of the millennial. No, I'm the last of Gen. Is it Gen Z? Yeah.
You're millennial, so 89 to 2000 and I think 2007 or 8 is the millennial. So
Oh yeah. So I'm the
you're right in the
last.
say
Yeah,
you're right in the boat with us millennials right now.
dude. Yeah, I love that. Hey, other than, do you do anything else other than caravans, being in person, one-on-one meetings with agents? What are some of your other marketing tactics that you like to use?
For me, so my father's been in this business for 30 years. He specializes in escrow. So for me,
Mm,
my second bread and butter is working with escrow companies in terms of just providing basic value, one, and our title unit, our title officers, we have three of them. They are so good. I literally will go after like 10 escrow offices because they get business that people, these bigger, more tenured title reps, they don't touch them because that's not where the money is, but it's a start. So for me, I really specialize going into escrow offices. Just they want attention. They literally are at their desk all day. No one gives them attention. So if I give them the attention they deserve and give everything they need in the essentials, they start using me. And that's really how I've been starting to slowly take off is just go after the escrow first because I know things about it.
I
But
may sound a little ignorant here. Could you educate me on how that works? Because I always thought, real estate agent gets a listing, right? They need a title insurance, and then they bring in a title person. How does escrow come in play in this?
so once you obviously get a transaction in escrow, or once
Okay.
a real estate property has a buyer that's interested, puts an offer in, it goes to the escrow. Escrow is considered like a third party that will take the earnest money from the buyer,
Mhm.
make sure everything's all paid for and all the loans are paid off from the current seller. And then once everything's all set and final, contracts agreed upon, then escrow will go ahead and close it out and send the money to the sellers, and then the buyers go ahead and move in. So it's really just a wheel. They handle the money and they're responsible for making sure that everything goes in document wise, money wise, and because wiring fraud's such a big issue now, they are very anal about getting it right. So yeah.
Wait, so sorry, I'm still kind of confused. So
No, please.
where do you come in play with escrow? Because
So when a prelim gets opened, not just the real estate agent wants to know what's going on with the property, there is also escrow wants to see what's going on because there can be there can be someone who died in the family per se, and they never took that person off of the title. So escrow companies sometimes are really looking at that, making sure everything's right. And for that instance, they'd have to put an affidavit in, and usually the escrow companies are responsible for recording documents and getting them sent out. So they just make sure everything's in line, and we give them the gratitude of kind of certainty that, hey, everything looks good. When I open prelims, I look through mine. They say you should stop doing that as a sales rep, but I want to learn everything about title. There, and it's funny, you're gonna probably see this. There's a lot of title reps out there that don't know title. They
Really?
they know how to sell. They're great sellers. I'll give it to them. They're fantastic sellers, but they don't know anything about title. So
Huh.
really, escrow, they're there to make sure everything's free and clear, just like we are. We give them that we give them the confirmation everything's clear. And then if there's anything else, they make sure they submit those documents, but they mostly handle the money. But for me as a title rep, I just come into play if I get the prelim. So once I get that order, that's really when the service comes in, and I give that escrow company my best, and then everything gets taken care of by them. So
Oh, I see
if
what you mean by
that
it's a
makes sense,
cycle. Yeah, yeah,
it's a
yeah.
full wheel.
Yeah.
Realtor opens, I get the prelim, the buyer comes in interested, goes to escrow, and then we just do all the closing stuff, closing costs, pay everyone out, get the sellers their money, the buyers give them the keys, and we're all good.
Okay, okay. Well, thanks for explaining that.
Yeah, of
I'm not
course.
an agent myself, so although I work with a lot of agents, I'm not 100% clear on that side. But with that said, Austin, um, what's your biggest nightmare in title, like since from your experience?
Just like for me, I am such a service fanatic. Like for me, I believe my attitude can make mountains move. My biggest nightmare would not to be able to fulfill someone's, expectations of what they're looking for. And if I completely fail
Mm,
at that, I feel like my world would just spiral out. I'm like, what did I do wrong? Because my goal is I just want to give people the attention they deserve. Everyone deserves it. They just deserve it differently. So if I don't uphold those standards and I fail at something, that
mm.
would scare the heck out of me because I don't like letting people down.
That's a great answer.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah. I thought you were gonna say like spiders.
No, I don't have arachnophobia. My everyone else in my family is scared of spiders, but that's not my worst nightmare. Mine is failing at giving someone the attention they deserve. Truly, that scares the heck out of me.
Wow, wow. I love that. Yeah. Okay. Well, Austin, you work with a lot of agents, obviously, right? So, how does I want to give me some synopsis here. So, you work with a lot of agents. What's working for agents right now in terms of getting clients? I know we just had the NAR settlement. Tough time, holidays, usually slow. Now we're in the new year, hitting January. And so, what has been working in your eyes? What have you observed that's working?
How well are you able to allow yourself to be visible? There are there's 80,000 real estate agents in California, I believe.
There's too many.
There's so many real estate
Yeah.
agents out there. Anyone could pick anyone. Some are great, some are good, some are somewhat, just out there. You have your housewives who my mom is actually a realtor as well, just kind of got it just to do some sales for friends. But visibility is the biggest one. And if people do not know how to properly use marketing postcards, social media solicitations, like posting ads, I think people are really getting behind because they say only 10 to 20% of real estate agents actually produce business. It's because those 10 and 20% agents that I literally follow, almost all of them in our territory, they're all on social media, and they post almost daily, weekly. Like they are you see them every single time. If I keep seeing your name, I'm probably going to reach out to you one of these days. When I think about, for me, trying to buy a home, but if I was a homeowner, I'd be like, okay, I've seen you enough. I'm going to go to you, and I've seen it happen firsthand. So visibility is the biggest one. And agents need to realize there are ways to do it. They just need to apply themselves and stay consistent.
Mhm. Yeah, I should. I'm gonna tie that back to my experience when I started LynkMe cards, is that when I was still developing these cards in college, I thought, okay, once I make this, like everybody's gonna want it, everybody's gonna love it, I'm gonna get flooded with customers. And then I made my LLC, made my bank account, tied it to my LLC, and then I published my website. First day, zero sales.
Like, huh,
Second day, zero sales. Third day, zero sales. And that zero sales continued to happen for like 6 months until I went out there, networked with people, and then I started asking people, "Hey, I have this thing. Can I present this at your office?" And that is how I got my first sale. I still remember their major league properties in Yorba Linda. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but dude, I completely agree. Visibility is everything in business.
yeah, like if you don't ask, you don't get is kind of the worldly known quote of visibility. And it's like for me, my partner Blake and I work 7 days a week because my dad told me, you're honestly gonna have to stick this out the old-fashioned way. Get your butt out there.
Mm,
And
mm,
he's like, trust me, it will work. 6 months into going out, broker previews every day, open houses on the weekends. People started noticing who we are, and it turned into, oh, hey, Austin. And you're like, once they say your name, when they say your name, you're in. Like you've gotten to another level of that converting them to a client kind of
yeah,
stage. You've
you're
gone from
not a
the
rando
unknown.
anymore.
Exactly. So literally, if you're not out there, I wouldn't say any every day, but I'm pretty much out there every day. Visibility helps, and being in person helps because I mean, cold calling's horrible in my mind because I'm just like, you don't get to see the face, you hear the tone of their voice, but that's not who we are in whole. Like you have so many special things, you need to be in person to show those. Like
Dude,
it's not
dude, yes, but how been 30 minutes already? That's crazy. Time flew, dude.
I
Wow.
love when time flies. Time flies when you're having a good time, eh?
Yeah, dude, that felt like 3 minutes. I still have so many questions for you. Okay, look, I'm gonna have to work you out
No,
because we only have 10 minutes.
no, please, please. You're all good. You're all
Okay,
good.
okay. So, what were some setbacks you had in your business? And then once you answer that, I have a follow-up question. What are some setbacks that you've had?
When I didn't, biggest setbacks. Really having a business plan, having a business model, like an actual, you write it down and having a model. For me, I'm a doer. I just do, go, go, go. That's just how my brain works. I don't stop really, and I maintain myself, but the biggest step back was having a business plan. When I started, I like didn't know what people needed. I didn't know where to go and how to like kind of hook people on me and say, "Hey, I'm of value." So until I finally created a business model that kind of ranged from technology and lead generating, that's really where I started taking off because I had we're like an athlete, if you're not training, you're not planning, and you're not practicing, how do you expect to succeed in, your tournament or in your match you're going to have? I played rugby for 5 years, so we were training 5 days a week, and we were practicing our plays and everything, and we were successful as we went. But when I came here, I didn't have a game plan. So I
Mm,
was going down the old rabbit hole and just spiraling out, just like I need to create a game plan that for me, something I'm comfortable with, and it was technology. I was like, there we go. And I built one. And it literally has been working since probably August, September when I finally built it. I was like, oh my gosh, life makes sense now.
could you explain a little more about that? How you went around the technology and used it in your business?
So for me, I really emphasize on what our company gives us.
Okay.
Fidelity is a part, has so many resources. First American also has great resources and whatnot, but since I was in customer service for a little bit of time, I really got good at the farms. I really understood. I worked with the developers. They're actually our age. They handed their businesses down to their kids. So I
Mm,
really worked with the developers on getting like get the answers so I can put it on paper. And then once I kind of figure out there's a farming, there's a marketing, and then there's the social media aspect, I kind of tied them all in together because they all tie in together naturally. I pull data from a farm. Okay, I take that data, I go to Facebook Meta Business. I put it in a CSV
mm,
file because I want to do specific target farming for people because it works.
mm,
Because I knew that. So I took the farming data, put it in the Facebook, and then we reapplied it to other areas such as postcards, this and that. But I just did it for them. I would just teach them how to do it, and then I would streamline it with them. And people are like, "Oh my God, that was so, thank you."
mm.
So
So
I just
giving value based on technology to agents and people around you.
Yeah, and really what title companies are, we're more of a marketing company than a title company. So I literally just, for me, data was a big thing. Taking that data and converting it into an actual post or converting it into something tangible or intangible that gets out there. I just knew how to do that so easily. And literally, I found a pain in this industry is people don't know how to use social media. And
Mm,
the older ones produce, like the agents who've been here long enough, they're the producers. Like we have some new agents come in, they're young and they produce. They're all taken care for because they know how to do it. But there's a market for these agents that don't know how to use it. So I built a kind of like a business program around their pains and how to solve it.
great answer, dude. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of weird. It's the first time me kind of saying that out loud.
Yeah.
I've never said that out loud. I've always just thought about it and it makes sense
Uh-huh.
in my brain. But I mean, think that's a really good question to ask
Hell
for
yeah. Hey,
setback.
I have more questions before we go. So, okay, you're a
Go
master
for it.
networker. Do you have any tips or tricks that you use in networking with people in person every single day when you're out there?
Don't be afraid. Smile and dial. Smile and shake hands. Kiss babies, do all that fun stuff. Don't be afraid. I was so scared. When you feel like people don't know you, it's the scariest thing in the world because you're going out into a dark room and you don't know what's around you. And you're like, oh crap. Like
I don't
for
know
me,
anybody.
I was like,
Yeah.
if in my mind, I was like, if you don't go talk to these people, at least shake their hand and ask what their name is, you're not going to get anywhere. Like being known pays. Being known converts business. So really just don't be afraid. Like do anything. Just learn, just get out there, shake some hands, and just say hello to start it off. And that's one of the hardest things for people is being like, hi, Woo, I'm Austin. Nice to meet you. For me, I'm like, I just go out there and I say, excuse my French, but I say, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah.
Hey, how you
Yeah.
guys doing? I mean, I'm this little Italian, Japanese Italian dude. I just have energy. I just bring that energy. And I had to find it in myself to
Dude,
just,
energy, like you said, goes a long way,
it
especially when you
does.
first meet them, because they immediately think, wow, this dude, I love his energy. I want to work with him. Like I've gotten so many compliments from people and so many business from people that thought I had great energy. And that alone paid me very, very well. So I
It's
love that.
not, yeah, it's not what you said, it's how you said it. It
Exactly.
it's always going to be how you're going to say it, how you go upon your business, because if you don't have intention behind it and, load it with energy of believing in yourself, it's just I don't know. Like, is it gonna last long or not? It might not.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, I mean, no, I still have to work you. Um,
Keep going. I'm in.
yeah. What are some things that people should avoid when networking?
Jabbing them right away. For me, I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna be in this industry probably until the rest of my days. As a sales rep, I'm probably gonna be doing this for a long time. I learned this is a marathon. I learned not to push people. Like, yeah, there are hard questions. You'll know when you have someone and then you can ask questions, but I learned not to ask for people's business right away. I just want to get to know them. I come from a very big family background where family's everything to us. So I treat people like family. And then over time you get through the rapport phase. You become trusted by them and it's so beautiful. It makes me cry sometimes. I get emotional because I love people so much. And if you want to be a part of this journey and I want to be a part of your journey, I just want to give you the love and the attention and learn about you and grow with you because that's what I believe is we should all be a family in some way, shape, or form. So don't push it right away. Be nice and steady. Get to know them a little bit. Do they have kids? Do they have dogs? Like, are you married or, where are you from? It's just those things are such good starters. But I've failed a lot asking for business right away, and they're like, get out of here. I'm like,
Hmm.
doesn't work. It
Um,
doesn't work all the time.
so don't jab that right away. Actually, be interested in people and learn about them, be genuine. Yeah.
Yeah, and I saw your podcast about being genuine. Being genuine, sincere is like it is priceless. And people know that it's priceless and they take that so much more to heart and they actually remember you, probably more
Mhm.
likely remember you if you're just a chill guy, you know?
Just like the meme, if you're just a
Yeah,
chill
man,
guy.
I'm just a chill guy.
Well, shoot, Austin, I wish we had more time, but our
Seriously, oh my
podcast is about to
gosh.
end soon. Hey, thanks so much for joining on. How can people reach out to you? How can they find you?
Social media. Our username is OC Title Guys. You can follow myself, Austin.Kikuchi, or my partner Blake Duarte. But I'm all over social media, Google Business. Go ahead and just search my name up, and you will easily find me. So, thank you so much as well. It's such a pleasure to talk with you and like get you asked me all the questions. I wish I could ask you so many more questions on my side, but we'll have to do it in person one of these days. All right.
Yeah, let's do it. Thank you, Austin. Thanks,
Of
everybody.
course.
I'll talk to you next time.
See ya.
See ya.